Bruno Fernandes then scores the penalty kick. Manchester United then winning by 3 goals to 2. A fun game, a strange game, Frank, in the end, that United deserved to win, in your opinion?
Yeah, overall, I would say yes. Not in that way of winning, because they play at 12 with the ref to give a penalty. But I think they were surprised. They made a mistake, and then after there was a lucky Burley goal. But overall, they did what they had to do. They struggled, but at the end, they got what they were looking for, and they did everything they had to do for that. But it's true that the penalty is a shocker. Come on. There is nobody touching him. It's barely touching his knee. How can you say it's a penalty? I was waiting for the VAR. I was waiting for the decision to be changed and the penalty to be cancelled. How can you give a penalty? Who can tell me that there is a penalty? I don't get it. I really don't get it, and that's really a surprise for me. But overall, yeah, Manchester were better. They've been surprised. But they did the job, and also some changes made the team getting a little bit better as well as the time went on. But nothing much to say except that I'm very surprised by the penalty decision.
Shaka, considering that second half performance against Spurs and then you're 2-0 down at home against Forest, this team did show a lot of character to come back and get the win.
They showed a lot of character, yes. Listen, I'll kind of underline this pretty similarly to what I said about Chelsea yesterday, that it's against Nottingham Forest at home, that you're having to show this character. And if that's where Manchester United's bar now is, well, okay, then great. But I suspect the fans Manchester United fans certainly believe that Manchester United are better than that, and having to scrape a win against a team that played with 10 men for the last 20-25 minutes. A Nottingham Forest team that played for the last 10 or 25 minutes. I thought, to Frank's point about the penalty, I thought the 2 big calls that the referee made could have gone either way. And had the referee not sent off Worrell, I don't think the VAR would have overturned it. Had the referee not given a penalty, again, I don't think the VAR would have overturned it. I thought there was no... Oliveira tried to pull out of the challenge, but he and Rashford, they clipped higher up the leg, more to the hip area. It was a slight touch, and again, it's one... I guess you say Manchester United get at Old Trafford, but you probably don't get away from home. But again, I'm right on the fence with that one. So in the end, Manchester United maybe get the 3 points that they deserved, but no, this is by no means a convincing performance. Nothing about it.
They've had two calls at that end of the ground in the first 3 games. The Onana one, which was extremely high profile, and this Rashford one today. Which takes them to 6 points, which, in the face of it's not a terrible start to the season, 6 out of 9. But let's be honest, they've been pretty shocking. And I don't see anything, and haven't seen anything, unless they go out and scatter gun before the transfer window.
They scored 3 today. Everyone keeps saying, and where are the goals going to come from?
This goes back to yesterday's game when we were on, and Shaq just talked about it. Chelsea, who've spent more than the small budget of a small country on players, beat Little All Luton Town by 3, and everybody's rolling about in the grass, think it's the greatest thing since sliced bread. Here we have...
Why are they rolling about in the grass?
Just getting super excited.
Is that what you do when you get excited?
Here we have Manchester United against Nottingham Forest, who are going to be in a relegation dogfight again, and they've scored 3 goals, and it's the greatest thing since sliced bread. They've been shocking in the 3 games. They had a good first half hour at Tottenham, where they should have scored a couple of goals. I'll give them that. But I'm not convinced that the transfer window they've had is going to culminate in anything else than a really tough season. Yeah, they've got problems on the left side, but they're not defending as well as they did last year. Varane and Martinez look a bit more ropey. Casemiro scored, but I'm more interested in his protecting of the back 4, and that's been poor, certainly in the games at Tottenham and against Wolves, not so much today because of the lot of possession. But they've been pretty poor, Man United. There's no getting away from that. They play a decent team, they'll get beat. And so there's some big head-scratching decisions and problems for Erik ten Hag. He's not got the players in that he probably wanted, but hey-ho, that's what managing Manchester United under this current regime is.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN+.